piss rag
Piss
than a
rag.
cum rag.
Guys, your timing's been terrible during these past 3 sessions. The audience isn't meant to know
perfect.
why we're
Or
laughing.
perfect.
Oops. Things like
Let
that.
us know what you think in the chat, folks, and welcome to Science and Sorcery, the show where we ask the real hard questions. Hard questions. If you can't tell, we're at the end of a 3-session recording stretch, all in one day, so we might be losing slightly, but that's okay. We're back with our campaign Witness to Ruin once again. Before we get started, I've got a couple of quick announcements. Is this going to come out before the 27th of July?
Oh, you got the date perfect. Well done. And
I'm aware.
And yes,
It
it
looks.
will come out before.
Amazing. In that case, tickets will likely, hopefully, well, maybe they'll be sold out, but if they're not, come and watch myself, Khalil, Rachel, Sam, and Khalil, saying it twice because I forgot last time, at the Royal Institution in London, 27th of July. We've got a kid-friendly show and a 13-plus show. The kid-friendly show is about guts, and the 13-plus show is about space. I feel like those should be the other way around, and yet here we are. So come and join us. If there are still tickets available, we'd love to see you there. And what will we be rolling with at the Royal Institution? Could it be, potentially, some incredible dice from ValkyrieRPG.co.uk, where if you go to ValkyrieRPG.co.uk and use code CyanSorcery for 30% off, you can also have cool dice to roll with. And I say we're going to use Valkyrie RPG dice to roll. We're probably going to use our inflatable D6s. But Valkyrie will be with us in spirit. So, go use that code. Treat yourself. Those are our announcements. Last session, the party dealt with multiple corpses. You looted an underground museum-ish area, freed a couple of werepeople, cured a couple of werepeople, contemplated curing your own wereperson, jury's still out, and contemplated drinking were extract to become a wereperson, jury's also still out. Then you found a note written by one of the champions of the gods, who seemed to indicate that she would slumber next to the Titan Rakaros, who still threatens this world, as an evil cult works to try and free him, and do only they know what. However, you are on a quest to try to stop this? Question mark? Or make it happen? Possibly. And are setting off after spending another lovely evening at Granny Muse's house to first the Temple of Vias in the mountains, and then to the peak of Mount Ekrich, the highest mountain in the range, where you will find another plain seal. So, you have set out. Blurta, you have gained an amulet of the plains, which you think, perhaps, is the item Brum mentioned when he told you that something might be able to help you from the mayor's collection. And you're setting off towards the temple.
Guys, check.
So let's just to get ahead of ourselves here. With that new note information, like, what are we actually intending on doing at the seal?
Do we even know?
That's why I'm asking.
So what was the note saying about
It was basically saying,
chaos?
yeah, that Rokoros is coming back and he'll fuck shit up, but if we open the planar seal, then Chaos can come back and fuck his shit up.
I mean, that's a big swing. It's a big decision for us to make.
Which is why I thought I would get it going, this conversation going now, rather than when we're at the seal.
Yeah.
Well, big question for you is, how are you feeling about your previously given task? Because the last we heard from you, it was a maybe, not sure.
I mean, honestly, like, I don't like Brum. He's a twat, but and I know you can probably hear me, but you're a twat. But there do seem to be positives and negatives to either side of this decision. So I'm not going to entirely rule out either. Still,
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna visit the shrine first of all, and we'll get ourselves to the seal eventually and see what's there, and maybe a decision will come to us when we get there, because I'm still not fully clear either way.
I'm going to ask Vias a couple of questions as well. Not necessarily just because I want guidance, but also because I want answers, I want information.
About the seal, or about life in
the
general?
seal, about his relationship with Chaos, about all of that, to see how that all fits together. Because I can't stop thinking about that goddess being cut in two and just existing as half a self.
and whether the other half even still exists.
Well, yeah. WtR in that note mentioned the queen and her shadow.
It's incredibly difficult to destroy a shadow, truly.
But it's also, if you cut something apart, you can't always fix it back together again.
I'm not saying we necessarily can, but
That was
No,
such an
we're
edgy
out-
thing
we're-
to say, Blurter.
but also, even though we're not necessarily still bound to those, Crown's Guard oaths that we took as naive children 2-3 weeks ago in the distant sands of time. But remember, the whole point of this journey, of setting out together, of this group, was to help people.
I thought it was to graduate early.
I guess maybe we had different priorities. But why stop? Even if we're gonna change how we relate with the authority figures behind our journey, does that mean we need to change our relationship with helping people? I mean, it seems like if we decide to stop helping people, then that's a kind of conscious choice in itself.
I don't think anyone's suggesting stopping helping people, but I think in a situation like this, there is the potential that there is no not hurting people. There's just hurting different people in different ways at different times.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I'm saying that I don't know what the right course of action is. I just can't stop thinking about Chaos and what's been done to her and how she must feel. I'm not saying that means that we are necessarily going to need to act on, anything or change the course of the universe or anything. It's on my mind.
I mean, so from what I understood from the letter, with WtR being the last remaining of the original Guardian, then you would need a whole new lot of all the Guardians to put another seal down, which seems probably a high ask to arrange on short notice.
DM note, it's been a while since you were at the last seal. The seals required 2 or 3 of the champions, usually.
Okay.
But generally ones with sort of complementary abilities.
Also, are you two like champions? Like, I'm asking that out of question because have you really kind of elaborated on that to us out of character, in character?
Sorry, that's to me and Rachel.
Yeah.
And the question is,
Well, the important one is like, have you elaborated on your like championishness?
I don't
Max
know if-
definitely mentioned it multiple times.
But in a way that we
Because
would
I just wasn't
understand.
expecting it.
In a I am the champion of it all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Straight up saying.
explicitly. Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't say Nimbo necessarily sees himself as a champion. I think, metagaming materially, he is clearly more favored than a lot of people by his gods, because like Virias has spoken to him just now, and he has communed with Vias and like met a spirit representation of Vias in the swamp and stuff. So like, the relationship with his gods is up and down, but like, he knows that he's got a powerful connection, but I wouldn't say he'd call himself a champion.
But also, like, would you have, like, to what degree do the rest of us know how good a connection you have?
I mean, it's like if you've never taken acid, how do you know what taking acid feels like? Like you could, because you have never had a powerful spiritual connection to a divine being, there's no way to verbalize how that feels. So like Nimbo has been telling you about like the times when he feels more or less connected with his deities. That's been very obvious, and he's been very open about that. But what it feels like to interact with a spiritual avatar of the god of nature as a disciple of the god of nature is something that is an experience that can't be expressed. If you had like detect thoughts, then maybe you could like, if I recalled that memory very strongly, maybe you could get an image of it.
I think there's an added layer of complexity where it's like, is Nimbo a champion or is he just a cleric? Like, is that just normal?
I'm just doing my job, man.
Yeah.
Also, I love the idea of like reading thoughts on like Nimbo and Muck consecutively about your encounters with the divine.
Yeah, Muck's like, oh yeah, I've been chosen by God. Yeah, this was not a thing before.
And Nimbo's like overthinking everything, like, oh my god, but I mean, aren't we all chosen? I don't.
No. None of the previous champions that you know of were clerics.
Ooh.
Paladin, but no clerics. As far as you know.
I'm gonna break the incense ceiling.
The cloth ceiling. Oh no, that's already a thing, I think.
The one where you have to wear clothes to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the first nudist CEO. No. So
You begin your trek up the mountain path as you're having discussions about what to do once you reach Seal. And you come again to the crossroads that directs you either towards the temple or towards the little goat trail that you followed when you first entered these mountains on your search for M's home hunting grounds. Which way are you going?
now, Blurter, you like being right?
I mean, I don't like being right. I am right.
Of course. Sorry, you like demonstrating your certitude.
Yes.
What do people think? And this is a genuine discussion. What do we think about having a second go at that dragon sword? I mean, we're kind of on a roll, but at the same time, we already have a lot of money, so do we need it? But then, like, what are we going to do with this money? If we have more money, then maybe we can do lots of good with it.
We just like see Nimbo gradually turn to the capitalist dark side, and
Yeah, it trickles down. You know,
like you got like that Rudy Giuliani like hair
starting to melt. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to redistribute the wealth from being scattered across the land to
Being
just
in
our
our
pockets.
bag of holding.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, so personally, from what I understand, there's going to be some bullshit going down at the seal. So I would rather save our resources for that and then see what we got left in the tank on the way back.
You're not going to reach the seal in 1 day.
I meant more like this, like potions.
Okay, yes.
Shit.
Yeah. There, cool.
Sure.
I think I agree.
Cool. Also, we need to have a conversation about what we're going to do with all this fucking money. Like, yes, you know, it will help a lot of our needs, but we should get rid of a lot of this. You know, we can do good with this. Do we want to do one big good thing with it, or do we want to just like you know, put a gold, like a couple of, I don't know, 10 gold through the door of every house we pass? Like, what?
Can I just make a history check of some sort? Like, was this money would this money have been sort of his personal money that he acquired himself, or would this have been generational money?
Make a history check. He was a noble, so I would say this is potentially knowledge you could have.
Could it be at advantage?
No, because
I
it's
guide
not
you?
a noble family. Yes, you can cast guidance. It's not a noble
and I'll
family.
help.
Yes,
I'm
that
proficient.
would give you advantage. Yes.
Both are
Okay.
bad though, right?
Yeah.
Both are
it-
bad, but it might affect the morals of where we put the money.
Well, because one lot of money he, you know, received from his parents just through right of birth, and the other one he took from other people.
Yeah,
So-
so
I want
that's,
it back.
that's 17 anyway.
17. You know, I mean, this guy was a baron, so he's not. It's the same sort of class rank as Blurto's parents. So not the most high up, not the wealthiest. You don't know very much about this guy's parents, but you can assume they did pass down quite a bit of wealth. You also know from the records that you found that he did also seem to take part in some kind of black market of like rare artifacts, like creature parts, things like that. So that would be like his additional income stream.
But it's not through like locally high taxation or anything like that. Blunt.
You're not. Oh, like none of the people you asked about the mayor mentioned anything about increased tax rates. Tax rates tend to be set at a national level as well, rather than like local taxes will apply to very specific local things. But there are checks and balances in place to make sure people can't just.
Okay, so it's
diving
not like
towards-
we're just gonna like Robin Hood the situation and just give it back to the people of
No.
Also, because
Yeah,
I think
it-
suddenly dumping a huge amount of money in a town does things to people. It does things to community.
True.
So, you know, maybe we can, and also maybe we can find ways to do good over a wider area.
You know what might be worth doing is with these potions we've just received, see if we can find someone who is able to replicate them on some kind of commercial scale to help people with lycanthropy, if they wish it.
Ooh, that's not a bad idea. We could do that.
Because then
From the notes that were in the box that you got the lichen essence in, they were extracted from lycanthropes.
Oh.
maybe not then. I
We
retract
could set up a
that.
donation.
I did not make
drive.
that clear. So you'd need an industrial scale of lycanthropes in order to make the essence.
Okay, no. Okay, scrub
We
that
can
one.
circle back to that.
But we could like, fund an apothecary to work for free. Or something like that, In every town we go to. We've got so much money, especially if we get that dragon's horde. We could, start up, maybe homeless shelters or almshouses, all sorts of stuff.
I just like whispering.
There's all
to
these.
like Nimbo's got the dragon fever.
So M did see the amount of coins that were piled in the Dragon's Hoard, and it is probably it looked similar to the amount of coins that you found in the mayor's house.
Thinking it. All right, we should just go for it then. No?
Well, like they said, we can swing back on the way home.
Perfect.
I understand those concerns, but I feel like, yeah, we can do good by doing violence, and we can do good by being strong when a lot of people who need help aren't strong. But also, we can do good by meeting people's basic needs.
What about we pay some union fees?
Set up some political lobbies to lobby for better.
So, are you saying we start a union?
Maybe.
We could do that. We've
Good
got
too.
more than enough money to cover the startup costs.
Is it worth considering the fact that the entire world might end really soon?
Yeah,
Does that affect our plan?
That's what I meant about meeting people's basic needs.
Yeah,
Like, we've got
but-
earthworks
Yeah.
and shit going on.
It's like,
but the
top of
world
the list.
ends. People still need representation, right?
Just like basic needs, not being stomped by a titan.
I don't know
Like,
that we have the
once
funds to
decided.
stop that, though.
But we've got the guns to stop that.
Well, I guess these are kind of, we can keep thinking about this, right? Like if we're going to come back here on the way back, unless we wanted to decide right now.
I think it's spitballing, right?
Okay, right.
I am assuming we are walking as wherever this goes.
You stood still for a bit until you were like, let's Blurta said,
once
let's get it on the way back, and then you
Mhm.
guys started walking down like along the path that leads towards the temple.
I'm gonna.
You can
Oh, I was just gonna turn to Yarrow and be like, "What do you think?"
gold's not very tasty.
Always about, but your stomach doesn't work. Why is it always thinking about that?
Oh god,
You're
like,
happy when I eat things.
But not gold.
Oh well, should have said.
What
we just
should
like,
we spend the gold on?
Snazzy hats.
Right, you're no use. Thanks.
we're just
That's
gonna
what
go
I
back to that eat the rich conversation from earlier, and like Yara's gonna be nibbling on Nimbo's foot in the night
Why me?
because you're the one with dragon fever.
And
Yoda doesn't wear shoes.
and in that, sorry, I need to just be very honest. I'm gonna try and be honest more. Yarrow said that I smell like sadness, and that is a similar smell to you, Muck.
I'm fine, actually.
Yeah, I know. I think it's the piss.
What do you mean?
And I'll point at the 20 piss-soaked rags that you are carrying.
Every time
yeah,
they
these
get
are my piss
mentioned, they
rags.
double in size.
Just like a bandolier. Piss rags.
Yeah,
What's
but
Like Tibetan prayer flags.
My bunting.
apparently that's also what sadness smells like. Now, I don't know if that's what depression is.
What a great times with these. What are you talking about? This is just a little, Eben fighting school like spirit, You gotta have your piss bags, gotta have piss bags on the battlefield. don't get caught unawares without your piss rag.
Oh god, I'm just imagining like cheerleaders with just like urine-soaked pom-poms.
Oh, so you've been then. You've seen it.
Get your
Yeah.
piss rags, get your piss rags, get your piss soaking rags.
Yeah. You don't do that at magic school. What do you do to your rags?
Wash
How
them.
many? I just press the digitate messes away.
I don't know.
So you have songs about piss rags?
Yeah. Yeah, school spirit, innit?
Sure.
I mean,
Is it just like a
back in the
mascot as
Furbolg,
well?
back in the Furbolg commune, we we had songs. We had a song about shitting in the woods, but that was more of a comedy song, you know.
Oh, nice. Go
It was
on.
mostly about bears, really.
Wait, you were a bear who shat in an alley. Were you singing during that?
The folks back home are not gonna believe this. I'm gonna tell
They're
them the
gonna love
story
it.
of the bear who shat in an alley, and that's gonna be another whole song.
No one
That's gonna be
heard it.
amazing. Yeah. People did hear you yelling, he's shitting," though. So
Because it was so silent in the alley, we need to tell everyone else.
I was spellcasting. I was chanting under my breath. It was a religious ritual. Okay.
I know it's hard to tell, but I'm trying to tell a joke. I'm trying to make a joke.
I thought it was funny. You made
Thanks,
me
Jen.
smile this time.
Thanks, Yara.
You made me.
Yeah, why did I say thanks? Don't worry about it. Let's move on.
I like you too, Mark, even if you smell like piss.
Thanks, Yarrow. Thanks. You too.
You don't smell like piss.
I think I might have eaten a piss rag.
What?
Gotcha.
Oh.
Hey.
But seriously, don't.
Wouldn't go near him.
I mean, Yarrow did say he was eating gold, so
I'd rather that it was
Solid
the
gold,
actual
not liquid.
gold. Not liquid gold.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna go there.
I like how we started on this like philosophical conversation on the ethics of charity. We're just talking about this, right?
So in the
It trickles
Baron's...
down.
Wait, that's not water.
Capitalism is a golden shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I've always said. There are two things that trickle down: piss and blood, and you get to pick which one. Neither of them is money. So in the Baron's letters,
Yes.
there was mention of him being in cahoots with Duke Esper,
Lord Esper.
Lord Esper.
Yes. Yeah.
Um,
Not the fiance, the dad.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Who is also in league with Mark's mom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Did the letters outline anything about the nature of their collaboration? Like, what was the Baron's involvement? Was it just as a local lord with a bit of local influence, or was it some freaky deaky experiment shit?
Let me just find my notes on the Baron and Kim's plans. Yeah. So it was a bit like in like veiled language, even once you got through the like coded message. They were being careful not to write down like things that could be obviously seen as treason. Duke Valgym Esperu and Kim the Lawmaker plans was to overthrow the sovereign. There aren't clear details, but there seem to be allusions to a possible assassination plot. The the Baron's involvement would be because he currently has control of one of the larger cities basically the second largest city. So they would need someone there they can trust to keep order. But also, he has a lot of access to assassins and people of that ilk. Several of whom you've now murdered or like scared off into running away to a different country. The plan from Valgim and Kim seemed to be for Kim to take the throne, and for Valgim to lead an invasion into the northern lands of Ramor, the crown prince of whom you saw in a pub recently. So there were promises of giving the Baron essentially like a much larger area of control should the invasion be successful.
So that would make you a princess, Mark.
Fuck that.
Hey, imagining you at the coronation in like a glittery dress.
A piss rag
Think.
sash.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, mandatory piss rags throughout
Yeah, because
the
then it
realm.
becomes the fashion at court. Yeah.
Mm.
Something
Maybe it
pissy,
wouldn't be
something
too
blue,
bad.
as the saying goes.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
so,
that would be terrible.
okay, so I guess we might have set that plan back a little bit by killing their northern partner, because they're going to need to rebuild that kind of connection there.
Mm-hmm.
So we might have bought ourselves a little bit of time. But
Definitely.
like, we don't really know who to trust in that whole situation.
I mean,
We've got a lot of
There's
powerful
also
people pulling our
the-
strings.
higher possibility that both sides are shitweeds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So then we have to kill everyone. But that's probably not ethical.
I think that's probably going to be a Titan that does that.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
or either that or the answers will present themselves.
The Sovereign wants us to protect the seals. Wishara thinks we should destroy the seals. What do my mum and Esperu want? Did they say? Did they mention the seals at all? Apart from obviously taking over everything.
Did they even know about the seals?
They did not mention the seals because you did not tell them about the seals. So there's a very good chance they don't know. They did ask you to find information, proof that the Sovereign was responsible for the cult.
Okay.
As you're having these discussions, you make your way down into the valley, in which lies the Temple of Vitus. There are people milling about here on this the flatter ground. It seems to be a relatively popular like pilgrimage site. People from the all of the people who live in these mountains seem to use the temple as like an area to congregate, to trade, and to like find shelter for the night if they're going deeper into the mountains. What is quite noticeable, however, as you approach the temple, is that all of the acolytes you can see are furbolgs. And they are singing a song. Does a bear shit in the woods? Yes, and so do we.
Does a bear shit in the woods, and it also pees?
As Nimbo joins in, two of the furbolgs turn around. Ah, a like-minded spirits. Welcome, welcome, brother.
Nimbo is grinning ear to ear. And oh my god, this place is amazing. I'd heard about it, but so vibrant. It's good to feel at home. How you doing?
We do what
Nimbo.
we can. Nimbo, nice to meet you. I'm Balsam, and this is Fennel.
Lovely to meet you. I assume furbolgs are all huggers.
Yes.
Yeah, we hug.
Racist.
Like, as soon as you said Nimbo, like, you got both of these other firbolgs just immediately hugged you. They, like, let you go, turn to your companions. Would anyone else like a welcome hug to the Temple of Vias?
Hell yeah. Muck runs in, just grabs him.
Nice to meet you, sister. Nice to meet you.
You too.
Sorry, introduction. Sorry, yeah, this is Muck, and M and WtR. They're my friends. Sorry, we've come on a long journey, really. But I mean, I'm from down by Bryn Water. You know the commune down there.
Sure, yeah.
I guess you guys don't get many visitors up here. You know, being in the
Oh,
mountains
we get
and
lots of
stuff.
visitors up here.
Oh.
And we'll, we had the old commune exchanges. I think our leader spent some time down in Bryn Water. You should come and meet him. Come and meet him.
Nice. Maybe I was little when that happened.
Oh, you're still quite small, aren't you?
Are all of these Verbolgs like 6 inches?
They're like a
taller than me?
little bit taller than you, but they're clearly taking the piss.
And like it bristles me a little bit on the inside, but I try not to show it on the outside.
Yeah.
Because like I know it's good natured, but also like I'm a little bit insecure about my height because I may be tall for this lot. Well, for not that could talk of it, but I may be tall for most people, but for Furbolgs I'm like not remarkable.
Average.
Yeah.
Balsam links one of their arms with yours. Fennel does the same to Muck. And Fennel sort of starts like herding without touching WtR and M inside as well. As you sort of get half dragged into the main temple. It is it's not quite like the other temples of Vias you've been in. It's the same in that it is made entirely like out of beautifully carved rock, but it seems to have been carved straight out of the ground. Like they found a massive slab of marble and just cut a temple out of it.
Wow.
It is.
I'm imagining it's kind of like a little bit overgrown in a kind of like cute.
It is very much
way.
overgrown.
Yeah.
But like in a way where it makes sense. Like the plants have clearly been coaxed into like still natural growth patterns, but in ways that they're not interfering with one another or with any of the places where people might walk. Like there's nothing that you were going to trample by walking on the pathways. You can see there's more Furbolgs inside who seem to be tending to this sort of living building.
I'm absolutely
and of
drinking
course,
this shit in.
there is a massive I say massive. It's probably about 10 feet tall, so not as big as like the one you found in the Swamp Temple statue of Vias. The antlers on his head in this case are ibex horns rather than the traditional deer antlers that you're familiar with.
So those being like long,
sort of in the
curled-
front of the
yeah.
rather than sprouting out the side of the head.
We love an ibex.
There is a Furbolg sort of sat, legs crossed at the foot of the statue, who seems to be talking to a bird sat in the palm of his hand. He's got like green tinged dreadlocks that seem to flow down. Like he's almost sitting on them, except they've been rolled up neatly, like right in the back of his and the base of his spine. And as you approach, Balsam calls out to him. Frost, I think we've got a visitor from one of the other communes. Ah, very good. Welcome. Come, sit. Join me.
Master Frost. Nimbo Thunderchild from the Bryn Water
You're
commune.
Cinder's kid.
Yes, Cinder taught me a lot. Yeah, actually, they gave me this, and I hold up my charred,
Ooh.
like lightning blasted wood amulet.
Frost reaches out, just sort of touches it gently. Cool. I'm
Right.
Frost Stormwind. Welcome.
Oh, sorry, and these are my friends. Sorry, Mark, WtR, we've come a long way.
Clearly, yes. It's a long way to Brynwater. How can I help? Can I help? It's
Well-
chill if you just wanna sit and commune.
I mean, I definitely do want to get a good commune in, because it's been a while since my last like proper communion session, and I can barely smell the incense in my nose hairs anymore. So
Oh,
Good
we
for
can
that.
rub some more in.
yeah, but in the meantime, we've been looking for signs of some of the disturbances that have been going on recently.
Hmm.
Have you noticed
Mhm.
anything up here? Like, odd people? I mean, odd in a kind of ominous way as opposed to just an interesting way. Or, earth tremors, creatures that aren't normally in these parts or, haven't been heard of.
Got two of those.
Two of what? Two
Two.
creatures?
One creature, one group of old and anonymous way travelers.
Okay.
Creature first. Easier one to explain. Now, she seems friendly, but I've never met a dragon who wants to join a temple.
Oh.
And she doesn't fit through the door.
That is unexpected.
Now, we could remove the roof.
Well,
But then
just
this place
the
being-
name.
Yeah, does this ring a bell?
You remember meeting a young gold dragon named Urveltha the Dream Scythe? As Frost starts, sort of talking about how, this is a really nice dragon, and he'd really love to help her, and, get her to come and join in on some of the, group commune sessions. They can't really remove the roof because so many plants have grown on it, and then where would the plants go? And he just starts going on a rant about all of, the different names he's given all the plants on the roof.
And then
Balsam, who's still sort of standing behind you, hears Blurta's question, does this dragon have a name? Yes, she calls herself Oriltha.
Old
Perfectly
friend.
lovely, but... Oh, you know her.
Yep. Well, we met.
Could you explain to her that we can't really... We can do some of our sessions outside, of course, but...
I mean, how much bigger is she than the door? Because we could probably get her to go to one session.
Is there?
You
Isn't
think of putting
there also the
on.
possibility?
Mini
that-
dragon.
Isn't there also the possibility that as a dragon she could change form for a little bit?
Doesn't seem to have mastered that skill quite yet.
Right.
But there's a lot of sessions that can be run outside.
Oh,
some
yes,
of them
of
are some of
course.
and you've got some wonderful cliffs around here. So even the sound reverberation stuff, I guess you
Oh,
could still
it's
get.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You should see it when we bring out the singing bowls. It's
Oh.
incredible.
Yeah, I imagine with all this marble around, must be
Mm-hmm.
gorgeous.
I think...
The harmonics.
I mean, that's what we've been doing so far, is we've been inviting her to everything we can do outside, but... sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate, or...
What if she?
well,
What
she
if she
really wants to come
was
in.
mostly outside, but her head and neck came through the door?
That's an idea. We haven't tried that yet.
In Elmsford, I'm sure you could get a marquee.
I think we can probably make one.
No, you can
That's a good idea.
make a big enough marquee.
Yeah, you could have a kind of like a little outside area. It could be like the the indoor-outdoor space. Because you've got like
This is
ventilation.
really. I'm gonna just get Frost to start paying attention to things that aren't plants again, and then I'm gonna go see if we have a lot of cloth somewhere. Thank you, Emerald. That's a great suggestion. Also, great name for a furbolg, Emerald. I'll keep that in mind. Frost! And just pats him very loudly as Balsam then turns around and walks away as Frost sort of snaps out of it and goes, I mean, well, Marika is just such a beautiful ivy. Yes? Yes? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, we were just suggesting some possible solutions to your pleasant problem of the size of your new congregation, mate.
I think if you
yes.
call it Ekrik Fest and get some caterers in, turn it into a full festival.
It's not really good for the grass, though, is it?
That's why you take like an off year every 3 years to let the pasture renew.
I mean, surely you got some druids in here. Like, let's be real. You can fix the grass.
I am a druid.
There we
Maybe
go.
this is where we invest our gold. We're going to start Glastonbury in the mountains.
Mountain Glastonbury coming soon to a mountain near you.
We come back in a few years and the entire mountain path is strewn with nos canisters and bagpipes. Sorry, cigarette butts.
One goblin at 5 a.m. just like chewing his own jaw.
Yeah, been there.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. Was there a second question?
There was a second question. Well, now there's a third, because, I mean, it'd be lovely to see our friend, the dragon
Ariltha.
again. What was her name?
Ariltha.
It'd be lovely to see our friend Ariltha again. Good friend, on first name terms. No. Dr. Dreamscythe was my mother. But there was also the question of these odd people you saw?
Odd people, yes. Well, we get a lot of odd people here. It's my cousin Bongo. He's doesn't play the bongos anymore.
Sorry,
it was an incident.
I should specify. You said ominously odd.
Ominously odd. We've had some of those too. We're looking to get to the peak of Mount Ekrik. Bit of why you'd want to go there.
Is
Just
there
made everyone
any-
a little uncomfortable.
Is there anything up there? Anything notable?
Found a body up there once.
Recently, or?
Oh, no. While ago. Actually, it wasn't me. My granddad found a body up there once.
Okay.
He might have been my great uncle. I'm not sure.
I
you know
mean-
what our families are like.
As
The
in the
body-
body was your uncle, or
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
maybe.
the person who found it was either my granddad or my great uncle.
It's a Furbolg thing, guys. Like, these labels don't really mean a huge amount to us. It's more about the connection that you have with a person.
Body looked a bit like you, I think. He points at M.
oh, so
Big armor.
you're the ominous stranger. Okay.
Do you know what happened to that body and that armor?
Like I mean, let things return to nature. Just left it up there.
Oh wow.
No.
Yeah, that's the best thing for it.
Yep.
There's all the weird rocks on the ground as well, I guess. My great grand uncle dad told me about that too.
Weird rocks.
Yeah, probably nothing.
Probably fine. Probably no
Rocks will
pattern.
do what rocks will do.
Yeah,
Their
right.
minds of their own.
And sometimes you just gotta let them go the way they want to go, and sometimes that's a weird way.
Exactly.
I'll turn
Thank
to
you
It's
so
a
Yam.
long
much.
climb.
Do you know what the fuck is going on?
Nimbo looks the most relaxed he's looked in the last 2 weeks, apart from after meeting. Anyway,
I think Nimbo's in a cult.
What am I getting into?
I'm very worried about him now.
Yeah, if If anyone offers you something, don't take it.
What if it's money?
No.
What
still,
if it's marriage?
Definitely not. You're married.
I'll get more wives.
You should probably have a discussion with your wife about that first, though.
Well, which one?
All of them.
Okay, fine.
It's a contract. You need to don't violate the terms of that.
Well, it's a different kind of contract than you're used to.
Oh yeah, I'm very aware, but you still shouldn't violate it.
It turns out by pure fluke that actually Em is married to Yarrow.
Probably, you never know. That's why you're here. Child marriage.
Fucking hell.
Would it have been?
I was not gonna say it, but here we are.
Dude.
Wow.
Yeah, Frost has gone into like an explanation of why you shouldn't climb mountains if you're unprepared, and also
Nimbo's,
just
like,
in
nodding along
general.
as well.
It's like the Mount Ekbrich. It's across the border. You gotta try not to piss off the Tobergians. Weird people, all of them.
How? Yeah, I mean, what are some of the dangers on the way? Are they just normal mountain dangers, or is there anything special?
Oh, well, the weather up there is really wild, unpredictable. Not much even the most powerful druids can do about those. Not sure why. What's going on? The rest is just your ordinary mountain stuff. Giants, Tobergian spies, rock slides, more Tobergian spies, snowstorms, maybe my ex-wife.
Out of interest, would the strangers going up the mountain have like coincided time-wise with like whoever sabotaged the other temple?
There was the shrine that got defaced.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry, yes. Yeah. The timeline seems to indicate that this could well be the people from the fissure who defaced the other temple.
And
Okay.
remind me, what was the other shrine? To whom most
It
of the...
was a shrine you encountered on the way back from M's family's.
And it
Raised.
was to Vias.
To Vias.
It was
Yeah.
a shrine to Vias, yeah.
So Frost, I'm gonna level with you.
Yes.
Those people
Yes.
who you were a little bit suspicious of,
Yes.
you were right to be. If they're who we think they are, they're pretty dangerous people. So be careful.
Oh, what was
Good. And why is your ex-wife wandering around the mountains between here and Mount Ekru? If that's not too personal a question, I didn't. I know we
It's-
just got here, but
When I was a young and foolish man, fell in love with a wind spirit.
yeah.
Elementals? Not even one, son.
Yeah, friend of mine back in the commune, they had a thing with a water elemental in the
Oof.
in the swamps nearby, and like it seemed cool at first, but like
No, bad idea. Bad
Yeah.
idea.
there's like the way that elementals perceive the world is so different from us that there's only so much of a connection that can really be.
Exactly. No matter how.
On the plus
Yes.
side, I assume that she always got them wet.
That's funny. Was there anything else I could do for you young folks? It's nice to have some young visitors.
I'll look at the others in case there's like anything they want to ask.
I'm good.
I'm okay.
In that case, I'll let you commune, and I'm gonna go greet some of the other guests, and then
Yeah.
tend to Marika because she's getting out of control again.
Yeah, is Ariltha the dragon? Is she around? Or does she just sometimes
no.
pop in, or?
She hangs about sometimes. If she's around, you'll see her on the outcrops.
Okay, we'll go have a look. I mean, if we don't find her, next time you see her, tell her that we swung by
Let
and
her
we'll
know.
say hi.
I'll let her know.
Alright.
Nimbo Muck Blurton Emerald. Great name for a furbolg, by the way. And he wanders off. You see him go over to the entrance where a halfling man has just come in and is sort of admiring some of the rhododendrons that are growing near the entrance. This towering furbolg strikes up a conversation, leaving the four of you alone, right at the foot of the statue.
Interesting people.
Yeah, it's great here.
You certainly are very nimble here.
It's different from home, but like not that different, you know? I'm starting to slip into my old self. I mean, I love my new shoe wearing, adventuring out on the road self, but
I mean, you
Yeah,
don't need
feels-
to wear shoes. You can take those off if you need to.
well, I don't know. Like in high pressure situations, it's pretty loud when I walk, and so these help give me kind of an advantage when trying to employ some kind of method of stealth. So they're really useful.
Just imagining, like,
they
because
just
your
feel
feet are
weird.
sweating, so they're like slapping on the floor.
That's fucking gross.
It's horrible.
The noise of
The
like.
boots of Elvenkind are just toe socks.
Oh,
I feel like it's like the flip flops of halfling kind is what you normally sound like.
your Elvenkind boots are like Kanye's new sheer rubber shoes. Have you seen those?
Well, at the moment, I've got them kind of tucked into my belt because I'm barefoot now, feeling the cool marble beneath my feet with the kind of little occasional plants growing up in between. Slight mossiness.
I
Noticing-
mean, Nimbo,
Oh,
you are barefoot a lot of the time.
Hey,
and,
hey, that's another thing. Actually, I really do need to make a decision about that because apparently, I don't know if you guys heard, but Clara told me that the next full moon is in like 3 days.
So 2 days now? Is that?
No, it
3
was
days.
4.
It was 4, so now it's 3.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think not that I want to rush you away from here, but probably best not to become the full bear here in
Oh
this.
no!
Just unleash a bear at Glastonbury.
Well, sorry, this. I mean,
Sorry, this
I
commune.
guess it technically is a cult, but like,
I knew.
where's the line between a cult and a religion? It's it's a subculture devoted to a certain set of ideas.
Sure.
You could say that about any ideas. Anyway, I'm not gonna. I know we don't have time to stay here overnight or anything. But I do. I do have some questions, like I said, that I need to ask Vias. Some in terms of guidance, and some in terms of giving me answers that I need. So, if you don't mind, I'll just meditate for a little bit.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to light some incense, and I'm going to sit. I don't know if they have dedicated rooms for it, or I was going to kind of nestle at the feet of this giant Vias statue.
Yeah, it's like one big room, but there's like little arbors, or like rows, like overgrowths that seem to create almost separate chambers within.
Oh,
plants.
lovely. Yeah, I'll go into one of those. And I will. In fact, I don't need incense in one of those because the flowers
There's,
give
like,
off
all of
such
the-
like pungent
Yeah.
like botanical aromas that it acts
Yeah.
like an incense.
There is incense, but it's all like very natural, like sandalwoods and like just like brushes of sage and stuff. that people
Yeah, and
seem to
mixed
be
with like
lighting.
the scents of the oils from the leaves and the flowers and stuff. And yeah, so I sit and I politely ask the the curtains of vines to close.
Mhm.
Thank you. And yeah, I'm sitting cross-legged with my bare feet kind of resting on the ground, and I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on myself.
Absolutely. You're in a Temple of Fire, so you were already gonna have advantage on the
Okay,
religion
great.
check.
I
So
won't
you
then.
want to not
Thank you.
cast the spell. Yeah.
And I'm gonna start letting certain ideas just like float through my head. And as I relax deeper and deeper into the meditation, try and see if any of them pick anything up. So
Make your religion check an advantage before you go any further. You can guide yourself because you've not cast Enhance Ability.
I hate doing all this fucking role play, and I roll like absolute ass.
Oh no.
Can I take a level of exhaustion to re-roll one of these dice?
What did you get, first of all? In
So,
total?
The highest of those two dice was a 4.
Oh, yeah,
Plus
you can take a
1
level of
plus
exhaustion.
4
Well, okay,
would take me to 9 total. So
Yeah.
Can Muck be like walking out and then like pop back in and goes, "Good luck, buddy. Just don't overthink it." And like, can I use my moment of awesome to give him one more
Yes,
chance? to roll the
absolutely.
dice?
Absolutely, you
Oh,
can.
thank
Roll
you so
one of those
much.
dice again.
now we're cooking. Thank you. As always, I was overthinking it. Muck, you're a genius. So that's going to be 19 plus 1 for a 20 plus 4 for a 24. I got that 5G signal.
You're locked in, bro.
Feel the radio waves go into your brain, affecting you, forcing you to think like a liberal. No. You feel yourself relax backwards and feel the plants sort of catch and support you as you drift off into this peaceful meditation. Until you suddenly don't feel alone anymore. You feel a heavy presence settle opposite you. Opening your eyes, you see Vias, but with ibex antlers instead of deer antlers.
Hi. You look good.
Hello, Nimbo.
You done something with your hair?
Very funny.
Sorry, I don't really know how to.
No, that was very funny.
Thanks. I know I haven't always made perfect decisions. That, you know, I know there is no perfect decision really, but I'm sorry for getting tangled up in all that hag business. Glad
You
that's
handled
over.
it well.
Thank you. Couldn't have done it without my friends.
No.
And this lycanthropy business, and suddenly the kind of there's out of this kind of void that we're both sitting in, you feel kind of a heavy presence, and it's this bear walking up behind Nimbo, this huge bear, and it's like the image of it is shifting between like snarling and friendly and curious and scared and all sorts of different emotions. How does this fit in to my relationship with nature, my relationship with you. It's a bear, but is it a real bear? And is it part of me now? Or if I get rid of it, will that be somehow dishonest? Am I an abomination?
I know I made the right choice. When you ask me questions, which I should have asked myself long ago. You are not an abomination. There is no such thing as the perfect choice. I am not certain of the answers yet for myself, but I know them for you. The bear is as much a bear as Nimbo Thunderchild is a furbolg. And sometimes... Have you ever met a rabid bear?
No. But I've heard stories.
On the full moon, the bear is a rabid bear. And then it is a danger. I will not tell you what to do, for your choices seem better than mine in some regards.
That
Do
insight,
not do anything that you will regret. It is better to live with the regret of not knowing or not having than to live with the regret of harm you have caused.
yeah, that's been a common track in my head. I've walked down it. Yeah.
I will not judge you for your choice, whatever it may be.
Thank you. That insight and that understanding really do help. And when you talk about your decisions and
Yes.
second guessing those, I'm sorry if this is too personal a question. I don't know if there's such thing with a god, but what's your relationship like with Chaos? Why was she sundered? How is she different from you and from Varaya, from all the others?
Chaos is my sister's shadow, as much as Varaya is Chaos' shadow. When we ascended, they were one. You have not seen Varaya in her true form.
No,
Chaos is her inverse. This leads to friction.
I understand that, but isn't there friction between the dualities of, within the dualities of all the gods? With
Yes.
you are death and decay, as well as being life and birth. Idal is, crime and cunningness, as well as order and justice.
But we are one.
So why was chaos sundered? If she could be whole, then why the friction by separating them?
Because in destruction and rebirth, life and death are not equal. And in life and death, destruction and rebirth are not equal.
How are they not equal?
I say we have not always made good choices.
I thought life was a circle. I thought matter was neither created nor destroyed. I thought energy flowed.
And I think along the way, we forgot.
Has someone been siphoning off energy from the universe or something?
Do you know what Rokaros is?
Rakaros is a titan. Rakaros is a big, scary being that destroys stuff. Rakaros is affiliated with chaos, as far as I know. But
Yes and no.
But was put down by champions of the gods, including a champion of chaos.
Yes. Rokaros is an avatar of the old gods.
What are the old gods like?
The ones that came before me and my siblings.
How was that transition? Peaceful?
Violent.
Yeah.
Chaos was swayed by Rokaros. Her champion realized this error.
Could chaos destroy Rokaros? Because the rest of you imprisoned Rokaros, but as
Chaos
the goddess of
and-
destruction, she could destroy it.
She can destroy it, but she cannot kill it.
How so?
How can you kill an idea?
What idea does Rokaros represent? What does Rokaros want?
Greed.
I see.
It's chaos and Varia. Destruction and death. Perhaps.
So, greed slumbers, soon to be freed and wake. Destruction has been cast away, locked away, and death and balance have been silenced. What's
Our
keeping...
reach here in your plane is limited.
if answer me, and I of course I trust you to be honest, but honestly, what would happen if the planar seals were destroyed?
Your world would change. It would not be as you know it now. It would not be as I knew it before the seals were made. But we would return. And Rakaros could be defeated.
Is there a way I can communicate with Chaos? I'm not saying I'm straying. I just...
You can
Maybe.
always pray to other gods. There is no offense taken.
Glad, because I am borrowing an artifact of Idol at the moment as well.
I can see that.
Well, nature and balance have a certain justice and mischief to them.
There are two whom you travel with. They are very, very chaotic.
Only two?
I mean, I would say there's 4, including the piker.
The piker is a different matter altogether. If they work together, they do not need to believe. But there is some similarity in their quabbles, as I have seen in my sister's parts.
So, cause enough chaos and we'll get a chance to speak to Chaos?
It is one method.
Well, that will be music to some ears. Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time and the attention to engage like this. I know I'm, one of many, but this means a lot.
You are one of a kind. But you should return now.
Yes, I'll try to live up to everything, and yeah, I've got a lot to think about and a lot to do.
Action first, then thinking. As the vision of Vias fades, you realize the ground beneath you has started to shake as an earthquake hits this valley. All 4 of you are inside the temple, as are several other individuals who all start running for the exits. How do you all react?
I think I teleport out.
Okay.
I was in the middle of trying to buy catnip somewhere and run as well.
You know the Furball commune is the place to
Exactly.
score catnip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Not just catnip.
If I see any, I'm gonna kind of like stumble out, and I see everyone running out, and I see these people. Do I see like anyone who's like struggling to get out, or like?
There's like a small family of gnomes whose legs are just shorter than everyone else's, especially the children.
I'm gonna scoop a couple of them, chuck them to Muck,
Yeah.
and then scoop the other
Mhm.
two, and
Yeah.
we'll run out.
Like the two kids, you pick them up, throw them at Muck. Their legs are still like doing the air treading as Muck just starts running for the exits. The other, you see Frost and Fennel, two of the furbolgs you've met so far, both cast some kind of spell to try to soothe the earth to stop the tremors. And this helps more people get out as well. The temple, like you can see bits of it breaking off, some plants falling down, but you managed to make it outside. And after a few more minutes, the ground stops shaking.
Perception to see if any monsters are turning up in the aftermath of this.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Nat 1. So. I just got dust in my eyes.
Yeah. You're like, you start to look around,
Eye.
and then just go, oh, fuck. Oh, there's something in my eye. And Blurt is just out for the next, 2 minutes as she tries to get all this dust out.
Is Marika okay?
Oh, you see Frost, just sort of looking up at the roof. Oh yeah, there she is. Beautiful Ivy, beautiful.
Oh, that was.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, that was quite the tremor. Are Muck, Nimbo, WtR, you?
I will.
Muck turns to Nimbo's like, did you just kill Vias?
No, we actually had a really lovely chat. It was incredible.
Oh.
Like, seriously, best signal I've ever had. Really just full personified conversation with language and like form. It was
All right, mate. You don't need to brag about it.
sorry, it blown my mind. We have
Soul Vias?
yeah, and he looked like the statue you have
That's
here
rad.
with like
Oh,
the
that's
ibex
rad.
stuff. Yeah, we sat down in a void, and then there was this bear, and it's like it's a bear, but it's a furbolg, but it's me, but it's a danger, but it's a moon. It's just so much.
Just puts two hands, one hand on each shoulder, goes, man, I'm so pleased for you. I gotta go check everyone's alright, but I'm so pleased
Do you need
for
some help? Do you need some help? I can like.
No, we've got this down to tea. I can
Okay.
use some tea. And just walks off.
All right, we'll put a pot on for when you're back.
Don't go inside.
Deal.
What are we doing then? We're gonna put on tea? Is that the plan?
I mean, we can put on some tea and then just head, right? We don't need to be here to pour it.
Yeah, but you know
I'm a bit
watch pot never boils.
Yeah, and it won't be watched. It'll boil like that.
That's true. Sorry, Muck.
Well, it's about the seal, I guess. That's it. Or maybe not. Maybe that's the right,
So-
just things in the area.
I mean, the fact that the fisher might be at the seal, probably a big deal. We'll put on the quickest pot of tea, and then we'll just go. And I relay all of the relevant stuff about the seals and about like chaos, as much as these guys will listen to and give a shit about. Like, not necessarily the esoteric divinity unless they seem interested.
Cool.
I will keep the bear stuff to myself, not because it's a secret, but just because like I'm still turning it over in my head and it's quite emotional.
Yeah.
But everyone's up to speed on all the god stuff.
As you've been explaining it, I've rolled out a catnip cigarette.
Yeah, so basically, like, if the seals are gone, then the gods will come back, who are not the old gods, but there's one old god left, but in an avatar form, and that's Rakaros, the Titan. But that's the Titan of greed. So greed is asleep, and destruction is locked away, but Varaya is balance and rebirth, and so that actually Varaya and Chaos are the same, but they're separate, because that's the shadow. That's the shadow of that's the shadow of that. You see what I mean?
And I will just hand it over.
Does this work on Furbolgs?
As you finished rolling it, Yarrow's just been going.
No. Stop.
Just Lady in the Tramping a zoot with a hamster.
He can't reach from where he is on your shoulder, but he is trying.
That's just a beautiful sentence there.
You can find somewhere. You can find like a little campfire where you can put on a pot of tea. You can tell
and I'll draw in the
Furbolgs
ground with
tending
my
it.
toe, frost tea this way. and
Oh,
then
there's
just
a
go.
couple of furbolgs like nearby, and you can tell them like,
I'll do
oh,
both.
you put that on, yeah. And
I'll do
then
And then I'll put my boots back on
Reluctantly.
okay.
reluctantly for when we start walking up.
No. And I believe of the people not currently rolling joints and or making tea, Muck has a higher passive perception than Blurto. And you catch a glint of something gold in the corner of your eye. Looking out into the mountains, you see a golden dragon land on an outcrop on the other end of the valley.
I call to her.
Oh, other end of the valley is like most of a day's walk.
I do not call to her.
Can't she
I
do
go,
like an orcish yodel?
Make a performance check for yodeling.
It's Orkale Hehu.
Oh, sorry, my D20.
I'm imagining it more like you know that scream in Predator when Arnie is all covered in mud and he's got the torch.
You know what, man? I got a 17.
A couple of small avalanches.
You see the dragon look up, and what might be turning its head in your direction, it's really difficult to tell from this distance. But I'm afraid she does not approach.
Fair enough.
So, science fact: yodeling is such a good way of transmitting sound for several reasons. Partly that because of the mountains and valleys, the sound doesn't get dissipated out in like in every direction like it normally would. So it kind of gets funneled, and so the volume is going down kind of linearly rather than quadratically. And also because of the densities of the layers of air and temperature and stuff, it kind of keeps the ceiling on it slightly as well. And also you've got the kind of hard reflective surfaces, sound reflective surfaces of the mountains and stuff.
Amazing. Well, you can take another dice.
Just in case.
Just in case. Okay. Now, Ariltha seems to be like the direction you need to go to get to Mount Ekrich is the same way that Ariltha is. So you'll need to go through the rest of the valley.
Oh, so we'll be passing the dragon on the way.
Yeah, you
Nice.
should, yes. You head away from the temple and begin making your way across the valley. The walk to like the next mountain rise is going to take you most of the rest of the day. And at some point, Ariltha seems to take off and begin a hunt over the mountaintops. She's not quite paying attention to the small band of travelers just yet, but you'll probably catch her in a day or so.
She's ghosting us.
Well, we don't want to impose. She's on her, she's about her business.
If we see her, we see her.
Yeah. So, yeah. What are we thinking about these seals then? We're heading straight towards it.
Yeah.
The fish are probably there.
They wouldn't be there yet, given it's only been a few days.
By there,
but
I
they'll
mean
be there.
gonna be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I pitch, we kick the shit out of the fisher, and then maybe like a bit of like trying to work out what their aims and stuff are regarding it. And then we do the opposite.
That makes sense. But then, just defining ourselves in opposition to a thing can be helpful. But then, what do we stand for? What do we want to accomplish? Like, if this
Not unleashing
big-
the Titan.
Absolutely, yeah. If this big greed monster is the thing that they're trying to unleash, that we are in opposition to. But we've got to have our own goals as well. Because, what if they do unleash it? We need to think about what we want to do rather than what we want to what we want to stop. Of course, stopping them is important. But
I think knowing they're there, we find out the information they have and their bigger goals, and that's where we move forward to stop
reflect on it, yeah.
to reflect on what their goals are, and we know that they're a bunch of shits, but
preach.
a clearer sense of what their overall plan is. And I know that that's, again, thinking about being in opposition to them, and maybe we won't be in opposition, you never know.
They seem like such dicks, though. I really want to hit them.
And
I mean,
some people who are dicks have good ideas.
no
But you
offense,
shouldn't
Mark,
hit
but
them.
your mum seemed like kind of a dick. And, and Duke Esperu, kind of a dick.
Honestly,
And
we should
the
probably...
Sovereign, kind of a dick. And a fair few people that we've met along this journey who haven't necessarily been our enemies, kind of dicks.
My grandma's
They're kinda dicks.
My grandma's, I
And we-
think, the only one who's not been.
Absolutely, unconditionally.
And we should have hit all these people, but we have to be practical that they would probably kill us dead.
But also what I mean is, like, we could probably be interpreted in some ways, in some situations, as kind of dicks.
We did kill that moose.
We did kill that moose, and we did, barge into that bar and start, ruining people's nights and stuff.
You set a boat on fire.
You
Murder
two ruined,
and bad vibes.
you two ruined mine and Muck's amazing night by starting a fire.
Wait, what night was this? What did we do?
Oh, when these two
Which of the
took-
nights where you barged into a pub?
when these two took drugs and passed out, and then you got into an argument with a card sharp, and then we got asked to leave.
Oh,
But
yeah.
anyway, the specifics and ins of that, outs of that, not that important. What I mean is, yeah, I agree. If the Fisher want to unleash this Rakaros, this Titan of greed, then yes, completely down for being against that. And also, maybe it's not something we answer right now, but we need to think about what our goals are. What do we want to see in the world? Because, we're powerful, we're rich,
We're hot.
Wait a
we're
minute,
hot.
we're powerful and rich. No, we've stopped. We don't want that.
Seppuku.
no, and what I'm saying is, those are not goals in themselves. Those are means to do good. So we need to get rid of this money in good ways, and we need to use our power in good ways.
And our hotness.
And our hotness in good ways. We need to be the baddies who are goodies. As in, like,
Amen.
Just to slightly tangent off here. So, you're saying that Rokros is the Titan of Greed, right? Does that imply that there are other Titans?
So Vias said that Rokaros was the last of the old gods that was left on this world. I think the others got fully disposed of, whether that's destroyed, killed, banished, whatever, by the new
Okay.
gods when they came in their completely friendly takeover.
So we can't have like a Titan fight.
Not to my
Shouldn't
knowledge,
plan for it.
but I'm sure if the seals all get broken, then the gods will return to this plane, and we might see bigger fireworks than a Titan fight.
Well,
So
that's I wanna get the armor of Shoho.
yes, as soon as I heard about that, we need to recover that artifact. That is, but on a personal level for you, M, on a cultural and religious level for me, and on a practical level for it not falling into the wrong hands.
Agreed.
And it's at the top of that mountain.
It's all fucked.
It's all fucked, but let's fuck it. I mean, let's fucking go. Fuck it, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Mountain.
Beautiful notes.
You're thinking too much about your sexiness.
I'm overthinking it again. Yeah,
On that note,
I didn't cast enhance abilities.
No, you did not.
Large reduce.
The sun has well and truly set. I'm assuming throughout this conversation you've been making camp and dinner and all that jazz. You set your guards. Who's gonna take first watch?
Wait, did you say we were making all that jazz? Is that the type of bard that Blur is now? A jazz bard? Because if so, M leaves.
No, it's just purely scat. And that's not the piss rags.
That's the kind of blood that Muck is.
Is that what the song was? Was it like a scat song about the bear that shits in the woods?
Yes.
I'll take first watch.
And
think-
sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say I'll take first watch because I think Nimbo's got so much going on in his head that he's not going to have an easy time going straight to sleep.
I'll do a second.
That's fair.
I'll take last then in that case, because then
And Blurta, are you sleeping in your genie's vessel?
I think so. I'm gonna have my home comforts.
As you vanish into your vessel, Brum, thankfully not there for once to instantly start bothering you with questions. You settle down against your comfortable pile of cushions with all of your snacks and smutty romance novels, while Muck and M lie down in the dirt in the mountains, and Nimbo sits down to keep first watch.
I'm really tempted.
Nimbo, you...
So I'm really tempted to use all my third level slots to cast meld into stone on M, Muck, and me, so that we're all just like in the cliffside, like next to each other. But
That's
no,
kinda
like we're
sick.
completely invisible, like because we're into the stone, but we can still like breathe and live. And so there's just Blurta's vessel sitting out on the rocks, and then
Do
us.
you want to do that?
Just a rock burrito.
No, because it really hampers perception of things occurring outside the rocks.
Okay. That's why I was checking. Also, that you're leaving Blurta's vessel unprotected.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Although on that note, Nimbo, you are deep in thoughts. And you don't notice the incredibly quiet footsteps approaching your campsite. The first that you notice that you are no longer alone is a flash of magic, similar to a spell you cast only this morning. Banishment. But not quite the same. There's something different about this one, as it streaks into the camp and hits Blurta's vessel. You watch it crystallize over, sealing Blurta inside. As you look up, you see the halfling from earlier who had entered the temple behind you. He looks at you.
You
Trust me, it's for the best.
come back
And
here.
he casts a spell and vanishes and reappears 400 feet away from you and starts running.
I yell to the other two. Someone's here. Someone, and I just can't. I run. I don't have time to explain. I just kind of kick them both awake and sprint.
The other two you see on the ground, something Nimbo wouldn't have noticed necessarily immediately. This strange symbol, almost gouged into the earth, in the center of which lies Blurta's vessel. Blurta, inside the vessel, you feel something shift. You see this strange glow wash over the outside of it. And as you try to get out, you realize you can't.
Brum, you
Trapped.
dick.
I didn't fucking do this! What the fuck, man? As your patron appears beside you. And that is where we're going to leave it for tonight.
I love how much of a bro Brum is.
Yeah.
They fucking do it.
And this is where we're gonna have to leave it because Alex isn't gonna be here for the next 3 sessions. So we're gonna get a wonderful guest coming on as our party chases down this mysterious halfling who's trapped a Blurta in her own vessel. What the fuck's that about? I know, but you don't yet. And on that note, folks, who is your MVP? I believe M still has an MVP, so cannot be them, but
I think
take
this
your pick.
probably has to be a Nimbo week.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Very
All of those
cute.
interactions with the furbolgs and with the gods as
Yeah.
well was just
Yeah.
fabulous.
I mean, I couldn't have done it without the assist from Muck. Sometimes, and this, in D&D and in life, sometimes all you need is a mate to be like, dude, you're overthinking it.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed.
Can I also?
And so you
given
at home,
that was Muck's
you
moment
at
of
home-
awesome being used, we'll have to give it to Nimbo this week then.
Thank you so much. And also, you at home, you're overthinking it.
I am.
Can I also say as well that Rachel's improvised piss rag song was
That's gonna be a clip.
We're
isn't
gonna
it?
need a clip of that.
Yeah, this is definitely the musical episode.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and you guys don't even know where you're heading in the next 3 episode sequence.
No.
Welcome to Piss Ragtopia.
Oh my god, it's Piss Rag Candy Mountain!
Look, our guest's
Scrambling up
gonna
the
be
sides.
slaying a scrambling old man.
You're just gonna, by the time you rescue Blurta, she's just gonna be like, she's trapped in there with porn and booze, basically. So
Bro.
I was like, oh, I really needed this.
Okay.
I'm gonna come out
on that
so
note.
refreshed. A little bit
Just
hungover,
like-
but just
yeah,
so
just a bit of
refreshed.
just a glow. Yeah.
And on that note, folks, thank you
Locked
so
in
much
the
for
goon
watching.
cave.
We'll see you again very soon. Have a great night, folks. Goodbye.
Bye!